What's going on, everyone? It's Mike, it's John back again, and how the tables have turned. And I mean that in the sense that John is poorly. John's poorly, and I was poorly, but I'm no longer poorly, which is fantastic for me personally. Albeit, I have found out that I've got vertigo, so I don't know how that happens. But so the room's a touch wobbly, but I'm not too bad. How are you, John?
Been ill since I think it's last Friday. I thought it was going, then it's come back. Apparently that's the norm. It's this bug that's going round. You feel like you're over it and it comes back. So it's good to have it now instead of having it next week, I suppose.
Fair enough. I think I don't quite know where to start because there's been bits of information that have come out from Everton. We could have done a video yesterday on the season ticket stuff, but so many people spoke about it. I didn't think it was necessary. It's great news. The future is bright. All of a sudden, the future is blue. There's less worry now potentially. An announcement is imminent next 48 hours. Some people have said it's Thursday. Some people have said it's Friday. I personally still think it'll be Friday. I still think they'll try and time it the same time that they get the keys for the stadium. And imagine how much of a boost that will be in a Sean Dyche press conference going into a game against Chelsea. I mean, it's just exciting. Goodison will be absolutely banging. The atmosphere will be incredible. And John will be sitting there in the paddock, absolutely buzzing his little noodles off. It's the beginning of the end, isn't it, really, John? In terms of the whole machinery, like we're done now and we're moving into the future.
Yeah, I mean, the next 24, 48 hours are massive for Everton Football Club, and massive for the fan base. It's massive. It's just, it's huge. And if rumours are to be believed, as you quite rightly say, some creditable sources are saying tomorrow, others are saying Friday, tying it in with the keys, getting handed to Everton. Regardless of whenever it is, these next 2 days are massive for this club. Now, I might be wrong with these dates, but by all accounts, I'm sure I read something today that Bashiri basically started the ball rolling. We're trying to get rid of Everton Football Club in 2022. It's been a long, whether I'm wrong with that, I don't know. But regardless, it's been a long, drawn-out saga. We had the hassle with 777, and that rumbled on and on and on. And anyone with an ounce of knowledge, me included, could see that 777 was not going to work. And the majority of Everton fans could see it. But Mashiri kept hanging in and hanging in and hanging in. Now, only for him, given 777 so long as he did, we'd be in the hands of the Friedkins already. So, for me, it's massive. If rumours are to be believed again, he's walking away with 40 million quid. He's took a massive hit. The Friedkins have got their CEO in place, they've got their board in place, and they've also got people in place on that board who can make decisions on Kevin Thelwell and Sean Dyche. This group of people want to hit the ground running. And this is what this club needs. Not, we're going to give it the 100-day period, or, I think Jim Ratcliffe done that at Man United, didn't he, where he had like a period of doing internal work and stuff. It needs to start ASAP, because we haven't got time to stand around and stand still. And I've said many times, if it doesn't work with the Friedkin group, then it's never going to work. Just fold the club. These are creditable, well-reputable people who know what they're doing in football, and that can't be said for Farhad Mashiri. This hasn't come a day too late for me. It needs to be done. The next 2 days are massive, and then we push on. And I've said on here many times, it's baby steps. We're not going to be challenging for the league next season. We're not going to be challenging to get into Europe. But me, you, and as a fan base, and I'll speak for everyone here, we need to stop what we've gone through for years and years and years, and we need to see progression. It won't be massive progression, but we need to see progression season on season, and that's the only way forward for this club. And I'd like to think this group of people will be the ones to do that.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think the big thing for me is, people have compared Everton and Roma were in a bit of a mess. They've been in the thing 3 years now, or whatever it is, or institute 3 years, and it's been a bit of a mess. I don't think Everton are going to be quite as bad. You talk about 777 Mashiri. I think you can look at it both ways. Mashiri has ended up with 40 million quid out of the club, but fundamentally he hasn't had to fund the club for 12 months because 777 did it. So he's actually walked away with a lot more money than he's going to be on paper at the end of this. The other thing is that the Friedkins are going to be the ones that pick up this debt via whatever mechanism they put in place. They will be the ones that pick up this debt. The future is so much better because we were in such a mess, and we now have just a glimmering of hope, a glimmering of something exciting, a glimmering of something that could mean that the future is better. It can't get worse. The only way it could get worse is if we get relegated, and that look isn't off the cards even, let's be fair. But these guys will come in, they'll stamp their authority on it, they'll see how we're going for a little bit, maybe give Dyche a few games, 3 or 4 games, speak to Kevin Thurwell, find out what his plans are for the future. But if they don't match their ambitions and their focus for our club, they won't be in situ very long. There'll be a new manager, there'll be a new director of football. We've already been linked with Dan Ashworth and Graham Potter. We've been linked previous with Mourinho. There's rumours that Ancelotti is well thought of by the Friedkin group. There's lots of people out there that Everton, with a new shiny stadium, with new owners, with a big traditional history that we've got, can attract. It almost goes 360 from where we are currently to where we are the end of January. Everton could be a completely different proposition.
We spoke about this, and I've said on here, Everton aren't attractive anymore. When we've got the history of the club and we've got the brand new stadium, but as an entity at the minute, Everton are not attractive under Farhad Mashiri. Now, I'm not going to say all of a sudden the Friedkins come in and everyone wants to sign for us and everyone wants to plough money into us. But this group of people will run the club right, and they'll bring the right people in to run the club as a business. And I think you're going to hear that from the Friedkins' first interview, whether it be from Dan, whether it be from the son, who apparently is going to have more to do with Everton and his dad's going to stay overseas. I think they're going to point out that they're going to run Everton as a business. And whether you like that or not, the Premier League is a business. Everton haven't been run like a business, and look at the mess we're in. So I have no problem with this group of people coming in and running Everton properly and making tough, bold decisions to put Everton on the map again, because it'll be a waste of money out of their pocket if they don't get it right, and they're putting a lot of money in. They're not going to put this much money in and run the club like Farhad Mashiri did or Steve Walsh did, and bringing managers in like Ronald Koeman. They'll do the homework, as you quite rightly point out, Michael, and they're going to make tough, bold decisions. As I've said on here, they've sacked 3 managers in 12 months at Roma. They're not scared to make a decision, whether that's right, whether that's wrong. And I know people will say, well, you can't keep sacking managers. What does that tell you about this group of people? That might put some people off about the Friedkin group because they've made the wrong decision on bringing managers in. But what I will say, I think they do regret sacking Jose Mourinho, because the managers they've had since then, all right, you've got Claudio Ranieri there now. He's been successful in his managerial career. I think he's 68 years of age. So I think they've just brought him in to sort of settle the club down. But I do think they made a mistake sacking Jose Mourinho. You tell me which big business people who run big businesses, tell me who don't make mistakes. We all make mistakes. they'll probably make mistakes at Everton, but they won't make as many mistakes as the current owner, whether that's Farhad Moshiri now and in 24 hours' time, Dan Friedkin. It's going to be done properly, and that's what we need. It's going to be massive on Sunday, as you said. Rumour has it they're going to be there, they're going to be at the game. That'll give everyone a lift. It will give the crowd will be lifted, which inadvertently lifts the players, because we're going to need it against Chelsea, and that's for another video, I know, a match preview. But it's exciting times to be an Everton fan. For what we've gone through, I'll finish this part of the video by saying, I think as fans, we deserve it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And the one thing I will say, just to, one of the things that's been mentioned, certainly over the last, certainly over 48 hours, 72 hours, has been the season ticket thing, the allocations, the numbers. Now, me and my little boy, we're lucky. We've been on that waiting list 6 years. We're in the bottom 0 to 500, I think it was, or 0 to 1,000. We're guaranteed a season ticket. We've had the email saying, you will have a season ticket. But there's not been many that have actually been able to get season tickets. I've seen what was the one that I saw? I think someone had been on the waiting list 4 years and they're not getting a season ticket. People have been saying that there's up to something like 30 or 20,000 people on this waiting list, and we're walking into a 52,000 seat stadium.
Yeah. I think what people have got to realise with that is, because we've had a capacity, by 12,000 capacity, it's been upgraded by. You're not going to get 12,000 people coming off the season ticket waiting list, because a lot of that is going to be corporate. And again, like it all over, this is what proper people run clubs like. That's where the money is. So it's unfortunate that a lot of people who were expecting to get season tickets this time round didn't. I'm made up for the people who did. But again, it's a business, and there's going to be a lot more corporate there. So you don't get 12,000 coming off the waiting list just like that.
No, but equally, when you look at what the Friedkins have already said, I mean, rumours are they've already looked at the capacity of the stadium. They're already on about increasing it. So, this is a stadium that hasn't even opened yet, hasn't even had a first game of football yet, and they're already looking at the future. I mean, that's really positive. When you've got, I think there was, I don't remember, it was either the owner of Peel or somebody really senior did a video about how Everton have regenerated the area. You can't tell me Peel won't say to Everton, all right, buy that piece of land and you can expand the west stand or whatever stand, if I'm being honest. The reason why our stadium's so confined. I honestly think that Everton Stadium in 10, 15 years' time will probably be 10 to 15,000 fans bigger. I don't know how they do it, but I'm sure, I just think it will happen.
I think quite a few of the sides are landlocked, aren't they? Because obviously you've got the water one side, and as you look at the stadium from the train station, that side's got a business next to it, so we'd have to look at that. I think that's the south stand, isn't it? The one on the right, as you're looking at it.
Yeah.
After the north stand, it's got water next to it, unless we fill that bit in. But regardless of how they do it and if they do it, I think it's really positive that they're already looking at that.
Yeah.
Because they're thinking obviously they're thinking of their pockets, because more fans, more money. I know that. You'd have to be stupid not to realise that's what they're doing it for. But it's good for us as a football club and as a fan base that they're looking ahead already before they've even got the keys.
Yeah. It's just positive. I haven't really got much else to say. It's just positive, and it's about time we had some positive news. Farhad Moshiri, he will leave Everton. He in my mind, he will leave Everton with the man that delivered the stadium, but at the cost that he almost killed us. And whether that was because of the Ukraine war, whether that was because of the sanctions, whether that was because he didn't have the money himself, He put the groundwork in. The spade went in the ground, and he did give it a good go at the start. We did spend money. We just got it wrong.
We got it massively wrong, and yeah, I mean, I can't stand here and give him too much credit. Yeah, he did come in and throw money around like my daughter in a toy shop. He did. He didn't know what he was doing with it, and
No.
that's what put Everton in this mess. So
Yeah.
yeah, delivered on the stadium, and again, even though I'm cock-a-hoop, I'm like a dog with two danglies at the minute, two dicks, right? That this takeover is going to happen. But I have said in the past, this new stadium under Farhad Mashiri has been a bane on the football club with the loans we had to take out and the situation we're in. But it's looking brighter. For me, it's had the shine took off it. Will I still be thinking this in May, looking forward to August? Probably not, when we've got a new manager in place, a new director of football, some players who will excite us, a fan base who've been lifted under the new owners, an ownership who respects the fans and won't come out with shit like Stranglegate and diss the fans. A manager who doesn't diss the fans. Because as I say now, and I'm leaving now on a rant, this group of people need to come in, press that reset button, rip this club apart and start again, put their stamp on it, and again, give us as a fan base what we deserve after everything we've been through.
Spot on. John, I will leave it there, my friend. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. You will see us again, probably Friday for the match preview, unless obviously.
Will it?
Say again?
Won't be Friday, will it?
Well, the game's on Sunday, isn't it?
What, you want right on holiday?
Yeah, on Saturday.
I thought it was Friday ago.
Yeah, so make sure you hit the like and subscribe.
Now with the video on the plane, doing the video, the wing flapping, next minute the engine falls into the ocean. Michael goes, whoa!
That won't help me vertigo, will it? My God.
Just make sure you're sitting on the side where the engine falls off and you balance it. I'm done.
Brilliant. Right, fantastic. Right. Bye, everyone. Make sure you go to back4.com, buy yourself a hoodie, t-shirt, books, all there. New designs are on there as always. And yeah, treat yourselves for Christmas. See you soon. Up the top is. Peace.